Going on a trip outside of the country has been something that I've always wanted to do. However, it's not something that my parents were too big on. They personally have never been outside of the country, so the thought of me going is just a lot of the unknown. I'm Kristen Selker. I'm a biology major, and I'm graduating in December 2015. Whenever it came to this trip, I heard about it, and I told my parents, I'm going. So I ended up going, but before that, they're definitely apprehensive about it.
I personally suffer from severe anxiety when it comes to flying, so what helped me a lot was having one of my best friends, Emily Shibrel, going on the trip with me, and then obviously I became friends with everyone else who was on the trip. So coming home was a breeze because I already knew everybody, but going there, it was really nice to have her to talk to and kind of calm me down and just take deep breaths. I'm Stephanie Warner. I'm in Clarion's MBA program right now, and I will graduate in May of 2017.
As for traveling, I think being in a group made it a lot easier than being on your own and going to the airport and, landing in a different country and just being there and trying to figure out where you're going. I'm Kelsey Conrad. I'm an international business and international economics major, and I'll be graduating in May of 2016. I came in not knowing anybody else on the trip. So when I got to Pittsburgh, I was kind of looking around for who's coming in a group, who's going to Costa Rica. And, eventually we found each other and we all stuck together.
Longer term, it definitely opened my eyes and made me a lot more culturally sensitive, culturally aware, more just internationally educated, because it just made me a lot more sensitive towards people who aren't from the United States and they come here and they don't necessarily know the language, they don't know the culture, they don't know the customs, and it's very hard for them to adapt and understand what people are trying to say to them. So whenever I see people struggling now out in the US, I'm a lot more apt to help them understand what's going on, even though I can't necessarily speak their language.
Dr. Trejos did a great job of keeping us busy. We had something to do pretty much all day. We'd wake up, go to breakfast at the hotel, and then would usually go and do classes where we would talk about, what we were learning, what we were going to be doing that day, and some of the economy, what we would be seeing, and why it was happening. Then we would usually go to a business or a factory.
We did educational trips, to different businesses and that sort of thing, as well as other things that just kind of popped up. We visited a bilingual elementary school and got to play soccer and go into classrooms with the kids and talk to them about the differences between the United States and Costa Rica. We got to go to the beach on our own with the driver, and Dr. Trejos just kind of let us have the day to ourselves. We got to go to the hot springs and relax there on top of our regular class time and other business visits.
The time is no matter, it doesn't, meetings can start 15 minutes, 20 minutes late. So it was really cool to see the intertwining of culture and business. Even in the American businesses, you could still see the Costa Rican culture.
We went to the National Theater a lot, which was really awesome. It was beautiful, and it was really cool to see the old buildings compared to where in the US everything's newer and more modern. And we saw the Basilica and the National Theater and so many old buildings that were just beautiful with European architecture.
It was just incredible to see the difference between the way that people in the US work and the way that people in Costa Rica work. It's just such a more relaxed nation, and we definitely got a feel for that while we were there.
Also, if we had something that we were going to go do and something else came up, we just kind of went with it. We went to a restaurant and we went down and talked to a man that was fishing for crayfish. And we were at the University of Costa Rica one day, and we ran into a man, and he ended up being the former financial minister of Costa Rica, and we got to talk to him for a while.
If I had to choose one thing that we did that really changed my life, it would have to be the pilgrimage that we did to the Basilica, because it was a completely optional event. It was just incredible to see how many Costa Ricans come out to do that walk every single year.
Being a biology major, a lot of people asked me why I chose to go on this trip that was typically for business majors. However, choosing a topic like I did on the healthcare system of Costa Rica really made the trip personalized to me, as well as my interests in the future.
Overall, of course it's worth it, because it's not like you're going for a day. You were there for 18 days, you got used to the time change. It was, for everything that I did, it was very much worth it.
I would absolutely, hands down, recommend this trip to anyone who asked. There has been multiple people who have asked me how I felt about this trip, and I honestly told them that I really felt that it changed my life for the better, and it changed me as a person, and I really hope that Dr. Trejos gets to do this again, because I know that it can change so many other students' lives and open their eyes to so many different things as well.